I am forever embarrassed to be a human being. To stand upright like that's something to be proud of. Did you ever wonder why McDonald's and Burger King and Wendy's never use those images in their TV ads? No severed heads, dismembered limbs, corpses, blood, guts. Always showing you a happy, singing, smiling cartoon caricature instead. Lying to you, brainwashing you, and programming you not to care about things you would normally care about, things that you used to care about when you were young, innocent, and uncorrupted by society's lies. So how come if the animals in that video were dogs and cats, people would be outraged? And if they were kids, the world would scream bloody murder. Instead, the victims are cows and chickens and fish, and all of a sudden it's okay. So I am a little confused here. Is the slaughterhouse the problem? Or is the problem just who's getting killed in the slaughterhouse? Because it's a house of slaughter. Why does it even exist? Especially when peace begins at the dinner table, with what you put into your body on a daily basis. Good people don't talk about kindness. They practice it. And they certainly don't pray about love on the weekends for an hour or two. They actually give it all the time. I know you have the capability of understanding right from wrong, because you all hate people who harm children. Why not hate people who harm animals? It's hypocritical. Why protect one victim and then violate and ignore the other victim when neither victim wants nor deserves the abuse? They just wish it would end. Stop praising the innocence in children and then ignoring and making fun of the exact same innocence in the animals. And everyone has to stop making these idiotic claims that humans are the only ones who are capable of being rational and aware, and that animals operate on instinct only. Can I explain something to everybody in a pretty simple way? Breathing is instinctive. Everything else is a thought attached to an action. It's not an accident that animals can build a home, if given a chance, and return to that home. That they can care for their babies, that they can find shade on a sunny day, or seek warmth when it's cold, figure out when to sleep or stay awake, locate water to drink, fly in a V formation, hide when they don't want to be seen, defend their territories. All these actions prove beyond a reasonable doubt that animals have the capacity of being rational and aware. The human animal is the only animal that spends the majority of time not thinking. Eating at Steak and Shake in the Golden Corral and Applebee's and Long John Silver's is not rational thought. But this isn't a competition of intelligence or awareness. This is about justice. When we were kids, each and every single one of us, when our parents or our grandparents sat us down and read us a story, that story was about animals. And when that story was read to us, we smiled and giggled uncontrollably. We even mimicked the noises they made, their language. We wanted to play with them so badly, not have someone shove a knife in their throat and cut them up into pieces. What happened to you along the way? Who stole your compassion, your empathy, and your conscience? Because they stole mine too. Yeah, they got me good. But I got it all back. And that's the only reason I'm here today, to try and help you get yours back as well. All I'm asking you to do is something normal and natural. Eat what comes from the earth, what the ground pushes up, and what the trees drop down and give us. Every single vitamin, mineral, and nutrient that exists, protein, calcium, iron, potassium, all the B vitamins, they have an original source, and it ain't the animals. I know you're aware that people eat animals after the animals have already eaten things that come from the earth. People eat cows after the cows have eaten up all the grass, some of the soil, then we ship them off to a feedlot, and we feed them most of our corn, wheat, oats, and soy. Then we take even more of the corn, the wheat, the oats, and the soy. We shove it down the throats of pigs, chickens, and turkeys. Stop filtering your nutrients through someone else's body. It's irrational. Go to those sources directly. Fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, grains, legumes like lentils. These things cannot harm you, cannot cause a disease, and most importantly, they never intentionally harm anyone else in the process. But when we consume what walks and what flies and what swims, that is abnormal. Where does everybody think diseases come from? Broccoli? Asparagus? Blueberries? Strawberries? Peaches? Nectarines? Grapes? Bananas? Avocados? Onions? Tomatoes? Cucumbers? And I'm well aware that many other factors can lead to a disease. Stress is an absolute killer. So is lack of exercise and lack of sleep and excessive amounts of empty, refined carbohydrates like white rice and white bread and sugar. But animal products, because of animal protein, remain the main cause of every major disease. Check out the All About Veganism section on my adapt.org website. I now have links to more than 50 medical studies proving that veganism by far is the healthiest way to live. And let me destroy these lies about B12 and the hereditary factor for disease. Now first, B12 comes from bacteria that live in our mouth and intestines. That bacteria also exists in the mouth and the intestines of all the animals and in the soil. So, you can let your body produce B12 naturally, which is what we and the animals always do. Or you can eat some unwashed organic vegetables once in a while with some dirt still on them, like carrots and celery, and get all the B12 you will ever need. If you check out the vitamin section on my website, I have links to 3 essays written by doctors, including John McDougall, one of the world's top medical professionals, who states that vegans have a less than 1 in a million chance of ever developing a disease from a B12 deficiency. You can also see my blood work in that section, because I got tired of people saying stuff to me over the years like, "Hey, Yorovsky, bet you got no B12 levels. You've been vegan way too long. I bet your B12 levels suck." So in October 2012, I went and got everything tested. Your B12 levels supposed to be between 271 and 870. I checked in at 543. At that time, 16 years vegan. Now 17 years vegan. Still haven't taken one single pill. Because I don't believe you can find health in a pill. But with this being said, if you decide you want to become vegan today, and I hope everybody does, and your parents or your doctor insist that you take a B12 supplement, then do it. Who gives a shit? It takes 2 seconds. I'm not an anti-vitamin activist. I'm an anti-cruelty to animals activist. I'm just trying to give you some good information so you can save yourself 25 bucks on a bottle of pills that you don't even need. And the other myth is that we can't do anything about our health because it's already programmed into our genes. Hey, Gary, that was a great speech, man, but heart disease runs in my family. Breast cancer keeps running in my family. Nonsense. Don't you know what runs in people's families? You should by now. Meat, cheese, milk, and eggs. It doesn't count as hereditary when our parents and our grandparents and our great-grandparents ate the same disgusting, unhealthy things that we still eat. Actually, that's the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over and always expecting a different result. Baldness is hereditary. You can thank your mom's dad for that. Eye color is in the genes. Cystic fibrosis, Down syndrome, that's in the genes. Heart disease and cancers are not. Now, I want to break this down for you even further. I'm going to show you exactly who's been lying to you all these years. Because according to the dairy industry itself, the main reasons they exist are so you can get protein and calcium. Now, unless you plan on starving yourself to death, which I do not recommend, it's impossible not to get protein. You couldn't even do it if you tried, because every single plant on this planet contains protein. Even fruit is around 5% protein. Vegetables have plenty of protein. Nuts and seeds and grains. Beans and lentils, by the way, 25% protein. 1 cup of tempeh. Tempeh is a meaty-like substance made from fermented soy. 1 cup has more than 30 grams of protein. And the seaweed spirulina, 79% protein. So again, unless you're planning on a starvation diet, it's impossible not to get your protein intake for the day. As for calcium, which is abundant in the plant kingdom, like every nutrient that exists, that's where nutrients come from. Plants, not from the animals. Best sources of calcium, by the way, are almonds, broccoli, parsley, and sea vegetables, seaweed. But check out that vitamin section on my website. I now have a detailed list of the best sources for more than 100 nutrients. But the dairy industry, boy, they love to say, eat some cheese, drink some cow's milk, strong bones, strong body. Milk does a body good. Happy cows, got milk. Most people eat dairy products 3 times a day. I mean, you can't even get a sandwich anymore without cheese. People put cheese and meat on salads too. And by the way, if you're eating a salad with meat and cheese on it, it's not a salad. Stop that shit. It's a sandwich without the bread, all chopped up in little pieces put inside of a bowl. Spare me the chicken salad, tuna salad crap. A salad is comprised of vegetables and plant products only. And if you're lucky enough to find this vegetable-only salad somewhere, what's the first thing people have to say to the waiter like an addict? Can I get some ranch or some Thousand Island? Can you please pour some dairy all over these vegetables for me? So, in our society, where everybody is hooked on dairy, I mean hooked like it's been laced with cocaine and Percocet, most people can't even fathom one meal, let alone one day or a lifetime without cheese. In fact, if you want to know why vegetarians never become vegans, cheese on a baked potato, cheese on a broccoli, cheese on everything, and so even lactose intolerant people eat cheese. So, we have all these animal products coming into our diets for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every single day without exception. Snacks too. Did you ever wonder why nearly every other commercial on TV has something to do with pills and illnesses? And why our parents and grandparents have to take multivitamins every day? And why there's a drugstore on every street corner pushing vitamins and pharmaceuticals on everybody. After all, we do live in a meat, dairy, and egg-eating world. You think maybe people need pills and people become sick because meat, cheese, milk, and eggs are pure and utter garbage with very little to no nutritional value whatsoever? And let me mention something quickly about the environment and world hunger. Because a lot of people keep telling me that they care more about humans than animals, so they can never become vegan. As if eating some tofu today instead of a hamburger is going to mess up your human rights activities for the day. This is especially puzzling to me in many ways, but mainly because meat, dairy, and egg-eating societies are the main cause of world hunger, as they continuously feed 50% of the world's crops. Back to the 60 billion land animals that we kill in the meat, dairy, and egg industries every year, and the tens of billions of marine animals that we kill on fish farms every year, instead of using those crops to feed 7.5 billion people. You can do the math on this one yourself. You don't have to be Einstein to figure out this equation. Every 2 to 3 seconds, some human on this planet dies from starvation. That's a fact. Here's another fact. Chickens, turkeys, pigs, and cows, they never miss a meal. Meat, dairy, and egg eating is the worst form of human and animal abuse. And when it comes to pure environmental destruction, air pollution, water pollution, deforestation, nothing competes with animal agriculture. There is no such thing as a meat, dairy, or egg-eating environmentalist. But check out the two environmental